So if you want to travel the world and do things like this, then I encourage you to keep watching because I have some advice for you.
We're gonna get a tornado.
Get out of here! Get out! Get out! No, 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 no! Get out of here!
One of the most common questions that Jonas and I get is, how do we start making films like you where we travel the world and just have fun all the time? It's so great. That fits your mentality. Then I'm here to tell you that this actually really is a job. A lot of it is an illusion, and you have to be addicted to the actual work part. So I have 7 tips that I can give you to help you in your career. Now understand, as I go through these, this is really just from my perspective, things that I think are really important, and they are in no particular order. First, if you are your own boss, you have to prioritize and put in the time. That means set yourself a schedule, try to get in your 8 hours, because you have a very flexible schedule. But if all of a sudden someone asks you to go rock climbing in the middle of the day, or take the kids on a field trip in the middle of the day, or do any number of random other things which keep you from trying to put in your hours, then you're gonna run into some troubles. My second tip relates a little bit to the first one, and that is make yourself a plan every single day and every single week. So most of my life, I've taken a little notebook and I've jotted out what do I think I can accomplish each day, hour by hour. Now, some people have made a little bit of fun of me for doing this, but what it does is it makes me realistic in what I can accomplish, and it also keeps me on track so I don't get distracted doing things like Facebook when I should be doing a marketing plan or reaching out to clients or actually completing a project. Number 3, find an amazing partner. Now this not only relates to your business partner, but primarily I'm talking about your partner in life. For me, it's Haley. She is an amazing partner. Together we help drive our goal as a family to try to make this whole thing succeed.
Told you to pull it together, not crumble like a Christmas cookie.
Because without having a partner that believes in what you are doing as well, I just don't see it happening. It's really, really difficult to do. So make that decision early on in your career. 4, keep your living expenses to a minimum. Now this has a lot to do with, 1, try to keep your loans and your student debt really low and pay it off as quickly as possible. But it also relates to getting a house or a mortgage that is as low as possible. And part of the reason for that is that we're not guaranteed a job every single month, and so you have to save. And if you have to stress out about paying for your housing, then you're not going to be spending your time being creative. Next, never stop learning. Every single night before I go to bed, I get online, I try to find a tutorial of something I haven't learned before, and I learn how to do it, and I incorporate that in my work, because part of the reason for that is that we are in a constantly evolving environment, so we have to constantly reinvent ourselves. And then the next tip relates to that, and that is try to give back to the community. So that's why Jonas and I do a lot of these tutorials. And the really good benefit to that is if you spend the time trying to teach others, then I think you learn it even better than you could have before. It also gives you a deadline, something to work through, and try to constantly be putting out content. Next, make it a priority to make great content. Sometimes as filmmakers, we can get caught up in trying to just do what we can to make the next paycheck, which is totally okay and understandable. But to really make it in this career, you gotta try to find what's out there and do just a little bit better than it. Next, follow the opportunity wherever it takes you. Sometimes I took jobs that I didn't want to. Sometimes that's what you have to do to make a career out of doing this. But you just have to keep that end goal in mind. And if you're doing that and following your opportunity, then I think you'll do okay. So that's just a few of the things I tell people when people ask us how do we get into doing adventure filmmaking, kind of science filmmaking like what we do. I'm curious, for all of you who are filmmakers and photographers, when people ask you how do they start doing things like what you're doing, what do you tell them? Leave your comments down below. If anything is helpful, also let us know. We really enjoy hearing all of your comments. We'll keep making videos like this every Tuesday. So we'll see you next week. Bonus points if you can figure out where I am right now.